Aliens declared humans the most cowardly species until they met the American Boogeyman. The Declaration. The Galactic Assembly, a council representing thousands of intelligent species, convened on a colossal station orbiting a dying star. Among the topics of the day was the classification of Earth's inhabitants, a relatively new addition to the interstellar stage. The Zorathians, a species renowned for their combative prowess, spearheaded the discussion. Humans are weak, declared General Calthor, a towering Zorathian with chitinous armor and a voice that reverberated through the chamber. Their history is riddled with fear. Fear of the unknown. Fear of each other. Fear of the very darkness they inhabit. The assembly murmured in agreement. Reports from covert observations painted a grim picture. Humans hiding behind technology, fleeing from conflict, and relying on diplomacy rather than strength. A vote was cast, and the verdict was unanimous. Humanity was officially classified as the most cowardly species in the galaxy. But the Zorathians were not content with mere words. To cement their dominance, they planned a demonstration, an invasion of Earth. They would show the galaxy how easily humans could be subjugated. Chapter 1. The invasion begins. The Zorathian fleet arrived in Earth's orbit with a thunderous display of power. Their ships, massive and bristling with weapons, cast shadows over continents. A broadcast was sent to every device on the planet. Humans, your cowardice has been judged. Surrender, and we may spare some of you. Resist and face annihilation. Panic spread like wildfire. Governments scrambled to respond, but their efforts were disjointed. The Zorathians began their assault, targeting major cities with precision strikes. Chaos reigned. In the midst of the carnage, a small town in the American Midwest remained eerily calm. The Zorathians, puzzled by the lack of resistance, sent a scouting party to investigate. Chapter 2. The Boogeyman Awakens. John Wick, a man of myth, a legend whispered in the darkest corners of humanity, had retired to this quiet town. His past, a symphony of violence and vengeance, was behind him. Or so he thought. The Zorathians arrived at night, their advanced sensors sweeping the area. They expected fear, perhaps futile resistance. What they found was a single man standing in the middle of the street, his silhouette framed by the flickering light of a damaged street lamp. "Leave," John said, his voice cold and measured. The Zorathians laughed, their guttural tones echoing through the still air. Their leader, a hulking warrior named Gradhawk, stepped forward. "You dare challenge us, human?" John didn't reply. Instead, he moved, a blur of lethal precision. In seconds, Gradhawk's squad lay dismantled, their advanced armor no match for the man's brutal efficiency. Chapter 3. A one-man war. Word of the encounter spread among the Zorathian ranks. They dismissed it as a fluke, sending larger forces to subdue the lone human. But John Wick was no ordinary man. His arsenal, a mix of human ingenuity and alien tech scavenged from fallen foes, grew with each skirmish. The town became a fortress. Survivors from nearby areas flocked to it, drawn by tales of the American Boogeyman. Under John's leadership, they organized, turning the Zorathians' own arrogance against them. Chapter 4. The Turning Point. The Zorathians, frustrated by their inability to crush this pocket of resistance, escalated their efforts. They deployed their most elite unit, the Bloodfangs, to eliminate John Wick. The battle was fierce, a symphony of destruction that lit up the night. But for every Bloodfang that fell, John's legend grew. By dawn, the elite unit was no more, and the Zorathians began to understand that they were not facing a mere human. They were facing something far more terrifying. Chapter 5. The Final Stand. Realizing that their invasion was unraveling, the Zorathians deployed their flagship, the Doom Spire, to eradicate the town. John, however, had other plans. Leading a daring assault, he infiltrated the massive vessel, turning its own defenses against it. The final confrontation between John and General Calthor was a brutal, close-quarters battle. Calthor, a warrior who had never known defeat, found himself outmatched by the sheer determination and skill of the human. As the Doom Spire erupted in flames, John stood amidst the wreckage, battered but unbroken. The Zorathian fleet, leaderless and demoralized, retreated, their declaration of humanity's cowardice shattered. A new reputation. The Galactic Assembly reconvened to discuss the events on Earth. The Zorathians, once the galaxy's most feared warriors, were now a cautionary tale. Humanity, previously dismissed as cowardly, was reclassified as unpredictable and extremely dangerous. John Wick disappeared soon after, his whereabouts unknown. But his legend lived on, a reminder to the galaxy that even the smallest spark could ignite an inferno. And for those who dared to challenge humanity again, a single name would echo in their minds. The Boogeyman. Chapter 6. Shadows of Retribution. The destruction of the Doom Spire sent shockwaves across the galaxy. The Galactic Assembly reconvened, this time to address the repercussions of the failed invasion. The Zorathians, once a symbol of galactic dominance, faced humiliation. General Kelther's defeat had turned their empire into a shadow of its former self. Meanwhile, John Wick's actions had sparked a movement on Earth. Humanity, inspired by his defiance, began to unite in ways previously thought impossible. Nations pooled resources, combining their technological advancements to prepare for future threats. Earth's skies filled with new defense systems, and its people rallied under a single banner: never again. In the shadows, however, John knew peace was fleeting. The Zorathians would not forget their humiliation, and other species might see Earth as a target. He began training a new generation of fighters, sharing his knowledge with those willing to protect the planet. Among them was a young woman named Elena, whose tactical brilliance and unyielding spirit reminded John of himself. Chapter 7. The Boogeyman's Legacy. Months passed, and the galaxy remained tense. Rumors of Zorathian retaliation spread, but no attack came. Instead, a mysterious figure began appearing in the shadows of alien strongholds, dismantling operations linked to Earth's potential enemies. Whispers of the Boogeyman reached every corner of the galaxy, a name that struck fear into even the bravest warriors. John's network of allies grew, extending beyond Earth. Some alien species, impressed by his actions, offered their support. Among them was a renegade Zorathian named Vector, who had grown disillusioned with his empire's arrogance. Together, they formed a covert resistance group, dedicated to preventing another invasion of Earth and challenging the injustices of the Galactic Assembly. On Earth, Elena emerged as a leader in her own right. Under her guidance, humanity's defenses reached unprecedented levels. She became a symbol of hope, her strategies ensuring that Earth remained a fortress against any who dared to threaten it. John, however, continued to operate in the shadows. His legend grew with each passing day, a reminder that humanity was no longer a species to be underestimated. For the galaxy, he was a ghost, a nightmare that could strike without warning. For Earth, he was a guardian, ensuring that the mistakes of the past would never be repeated. And for those who still doubted humanity's resolve, the message was clear. The Boogeyman was watching,